Do you know that friend who always cancels plans? The one who's sick again, tired again, maybe next time. The one everyone secretly labels as unreliable. But what if they're not avoiding you at all? What if they're protecting something most people don't even realize they're losing? If you're someone who genuinely feels more excited about a Friday night in pajamas than a Friday night out, stay right here. This video is going to feel uncomfortably accurate. Today, we're breaking down the psychology of people who love staying at home. The ones society calls boring, antisocial, or unmotivated. But science calls something very different. Here's the truth most people miss. Not everyone recharges the same way. Extroverts gain energy from people, from noise, from movement, from being surrounded by others. Social interaction fills their battery. But for introverts, and for people who prefer solitude, it works the opposite way. Every conversation, every gathering, even enjoyable ones, slowly drain their energy. And home isn't an escape. It's the only charger that actually works. Psychologists explain this through something called optimal arousal theory. Some nervous systems need high stimulation to feel alive. Others need very little. Loud environments, constant interaction, and unpredictability don't energize them. They overwhelm them. This isn't laziness. It isn't fear. And it definitely isn't weakness. It's biology. But introversion is only part of the story. For many people, staying home is about control. Out in the world, everything is unpredictable. Loud strangers, awkward small talk, sudden changes of plans, social expectations you didn't agree to but are still expected to perform. At home, everything is adjustable. The lighting, the sound, the pace, the silence. For people with anxiety, high sensitivity, or overstimulated minds, that control isn't comfort, it's survival. And here's something most people never hear. Research shows that people who enjoy solitude tend to be more introspective, more creative, and better at deep problem solving. Some of the most original ideas aren't born in crowded rooms or loud parties. They're born at 2 a.m., in silence, when the world finally stops demanding attention. Staying home isn't doing nothing. It's where thinking actually happens. But society doesn't celebrate that. We romanticize being busy, being outside, being seen. The parties, the trips, the constant proof that you're living your best life. But what if your best life is quiet? What if it's a documentary, warm food, a familiar space, and zero obligations? That isn't sad. That's self-awareness. Still, there's an uncomfortable truth we need to talk about. Not everyone stays home for healthy reasons. For some people, it's social anxiety. For others, it's past trauma. And sometimes, it's depression quietly whispering, "What's the point?" In those cases, home becomes both a refuge and a cage. So the real question isn't do you stay home? It's why. Do you stay home because it restores you? Or because leaving feels too heavy? One is peace. The other is hiding. But for those who genuinely love staying in, they aren't missing out. They're just living differently. They find joy in small rituals most people rush past. Morning coffee in silence, a favorite spot on the couch, the way light fills a room at sunset, the comfort of familiarity. Psychologists call this low stimulation preference. These people don't need the world to entertain them. Their inner world is already rich. So if you're someone who turns down invitations without guilt, if you feel genuinely happy on a solo Saturday, if you'd rather rewatch a comfort show than chase new memories, you're not broken. You're wired for depth over noise, for peace over performance. Now tell me, do you prefer staying home? Or do you think we're all just making excuses? And if you want the kind of psychology most people never hear about themselves, click the next video. It's going to hit harder than this one.